It's 6 in the morning, and this is what I see. A summary of every significant thing that happened in AI yesterday. Not a fire hose of headlines, it's a filtered brief. And down here, it tells me how the new developments should impact the way I run my business and why. I didn't research this, I didn't open 20 tabs, I didn't prompt anything this morning. While I was asleep, an agent read the day's AI news, decided what mattered to me specifically, and wrote it up. That's not prompting, that's agentic AI. And if you understand the difference, you understand why most of what you've been told about AI is a level too low. Here's the thing nobody wants to admit. Prompting is friction. Every time you open a chat window and type a prompt, you're paying a tax. You have to be present. You have to know what you want. You have to articulate it well enough that the model can give you something useful. You have to read the output, decide if it's right, and prompt again. That's not delegation. That's piloting a 747 from the cockpit. The plane has autopilot, but you're flying it manually because that's how the interface was built. Look at the workflows that people brag about online. I use ChatGPT 50 times a day. Cool. That's 50 context switches. 50 moments where you stopped what you were doing, formed an intent, articulated it as text, evaluated the response, and went back to your work. Prompting is interruption driven. Computing dressed up as productivity. Now compare that to what landed on my screen this morning. I didn't switch contexts. I didn't form an intent. I didn't type a single character. The system formed an intent on my behalf, read the news, judged what mattered to me, connected it to my business, and handed me the result. The interface wasn't a chat box. The interface was my morning. That's the unlock. And once you see it, you can't go back. There's an entire content ecosystem that's teaching you to be a better typist. Prompt libraries, prompt frameworks, prompt courses, the Crispy framework, the Rice framework. I bet you didn't know about this one ChatGPT trick. All of that is real. All of it works. And all of it is working at a local maximum. Being good at prompting is like being good at composing fax cover letters back in the 90s. A useful skill for now, but the medium itself is going to disappear. And the people winning are the ones building systems that replace it. Here's the test I run on every piece of AI content I read. Does this teach me to use a chat box more effectively, or does it teach me to make the chat box unnecessary? Most content teaches the first. This channel teaches the second. Because the whole point of AI, the actual point, the thing that we should be building toward, is buying back your time, not getting better at typing into a box. Getting back the hours you spend triaging emails, scheduling meetings, summarizing documents, checking on things, asking about things. That's what agentic AI is for, and we are going to build it. Okay, so what does agentic actually mean? Because the word is getting thrown around a lot like cloud was being thrown around back in 2012. And I think it's starting to lose all meaning. Man, my voice. 4 pillars. Memorize these. Every real agentic system has all 4. If a tool is missing any of these, it's not agentic. It's just a chatbot with extra steps. First, persistent context. The system knows who you are and knows what you're working on, what your preferences are, what happened yesterday. It remembers. It doesn't start every conversation from zero. I covered this in depth in the newsletter, link in the description. Second, tools. The system can do things in the world, read your email, write to your calendar, send a WhatsApp message, query a database, run a script. Without tools, you have a chat box. With tools, you have an agent. Third, autonomy. The system decides what to do within boundaries you define. You don't tell it, check my calendar, then check my email, then write a summary, then send it to WhatsApp. You tell it, send me a useful morning briefing, and it figures out the rest. Decision-making is delegated, not scripted. Fourth, triggers. This is one of the most important ones, and a lot of people miss. This, I think, is the major feature that got OpenClaw all the popularity that it did. The system runs on its own. Cron schedules, inbound webhooks, file changes, location events, calendar events. Without triggers, you're back to prompting. You have to start every interaction. With triggers, the system starts interactions on your behalf. Let's run the test. ChatGPT, no persistent context across sessions, no triggers. It's a chatbot. Custom GPTs, that's closer. They have persistent context, still no triggers. OpenClaw, Claude Code, Make workflows, those have all Floor. So those types of systems are the ones that we're going to be building with on this channel. Future videos are going to be things like deep dives into each of these columns, how to architect persistent context that doesn't blow your token budget, how to give agents tools without giving them the ability to email your boss at 3 a.m., how to define autonomy that's actually useful versus chaotic, how to set up triggers that fire when they should and only when they should. That's the curriculum. I just explained these 4 pillars. Here's the thing, the pillars are not about a specific system, they're about agentic systems, period. So let's look at this brief that was given me. I built it in Claude Cowork. Let's see how the 4 pillars apply within Claude Cowork. First, persistent context. This is how it knows the difference between interesting AI news and AI news that matters to my business. It's not summarizing for everyone, it's summarizing for me personally. That's done through these context files. Tools. The primary tool that's being used is for browsing the web. It goes and reads the day's AI news the same way I would, except for where I would only be able to get through 3 articles in the morning, it's able to read everything. Pillar 3, autonomy. I never gave this a script. I didn't say check this site, then go to this site, then here's 5 newsletters to read, then summarize each of them. I told it what I want. I want it to go and research these things. And every morning it decides what's worth including and what's not. 4th, triggers. The trigger is the really easy one here. It is just a cron job, meaning it runs at a specific time every day and gives me this report. I'm not starting this. It starts itself before I'm even awake. That's pillar 4. Total prompts I write per day to run this is 0. The time I spend keeping up with AI news for the newsletter is significantly reduced from what it could be. The agent does the reading, I do the thinking. That's the trade you actually want from AI. Could you do this with prompting? Sure. Wake up every morning, open a chat window, paste in the list of news sites you wanted to read, ask it for a summary, ask it to connect each story to your business every single day. Or set it up once and never touch the mechanics again. That's the difference between using AI and building with it. So here's what the channel's about. Every video on Agentic Smith is going to be real and actionable. Real workflows, real configs, real systems that run without you. We'll cover some tools like OpenClaw, Hermes, Claude Cowork, but the focus will be on principles to port to anything more than the tools themselves. In Cloud Code, Cursor, Custom Python, whatever you're building with, you can apply the tools that you'll be learning. We're not going to focus on writing better prompts. There's 1,000 other channels that are doing that. We're going to teach you to build systems so you don't need them. If that's the kind of content you want, click subscribe. You're not going to want to miss our next video. And if you want any of this stuff in writing, every Friday, I send out a newsletter with 1 deep dive tutorial, 1 copy and paste config, 1 honest tool review, and 1 editorial for free. Links in the description. Once again, prompting is a bug. Building systems so you don't have to, that's the work. I'll see you on the next one.